PS Business Parks Incorporated, New York Stock Exchange PSB, sidestepping stock direction risk in option trading before earnings. Date published, 2017 10-24. Disclaimer. The results here are provided for general informational purposes, as a convenience to the readers. The materials are not a substitute for obtaining professional advice from a qualified person, firm or corporation. Preface. For the investor that feel as though the market's direction is becoming tenuous, we can explore an option trading opportunity in PS Business Parks Incorporated, New York Stock Exchange PSB, that does not rely on stock direction at all. It turns out, over the long run, for stocks with certain tendencies like PS Business Parks Incorporated, there is a clever way to trade market anxiety or market optimism before earnings announcements with options. This approach has returned 25.3% with a total holding period of just 156 days, or an annualized rate of 59.2%. Now that's worth looking into. The trade before earnings, when it works. What a trader wants to do is to see the results of buying an at-the-money straddle 2 weeks before earnings and then sell that straddle just before earnings. The goal of this type of trade is to benefit from a unique and short time frame when the stock might move a lot, either due to earnings anxiety, stock drops before earnings, or earnings optimism, stock rises before earnings, but taking no actual earnings risk. If the stock is volatile during this period, this generally is a winning strategy. If it does not move, this strategy will likely not be profitable, and the complete backtest below discusses that possibility. Here's the setup. We are testing opening the position 14 calendar days before earnings, and then closing the position 1 day before earnings. This is not making any earnings bet. This is not making any stock direction bet. Once we apply that simple rule to our backtest, we run it on an at-the-money straddle, risk management. We can add another layer of risk management to the backtest by instituting an 40% stop loss and a 40% limit gain. If the stock doesn't move a lot during this period, and the options begin to decay in value, a stop loss can prevent the total loss. On the flip side, if the stock does move in one direction or another enough, the trade can be closed early for a profit. Here are those settings. In English, at the close of each trading day we check to see if the total position is either up or down 40% relative to the open price. If it was, the trade was closed. Returns. If we did this long at the money, straddle and PS Business Parks Incorporated, New York Stock Exchange PSB, over the last 3 years, but only held it before earnings, we get these results. PSB. Long at the money straddle. Percent wins, 58.33%. Wins, 7 losses, 5%. Return, 25.3%. Tap here to see the backtest. The mechanics of the trade machine are that it uses end-of-day prices for every backtest entry and exit, every trigger. We see a 25.3% return, testing this over the last 12 earnings dates in PS Business Parks Incorporated. That's a total of just 156 days, 13 days for each earnings date, over 12 earnings dates. We can also see that this strategy hasn't been a winner all the time, rather it has won 7 times and lost 5 times, for a 58% win rate. Setting expectations. While this strategy has an overall return of 25.3%, the trade details keep us in bounds with expectations. The average percent return per trade was 3.04% over 13 days. What happened? This is it. This is how people profit from the option market, finding trading opportunities that avoid earnings risk and work equally well during a bull or bear market. You can be successful trading options consistently, but it's not about trying to guess which stocks will go up or down, or what will happen in an earnings release. Here is a quick demonstration video of CML's Trade Machine Option Backtester. You decide. Get CML Trade Machine. Promotional, $49 per month offer will end soon. Promotional subscriptions limited to 500 total users registered before the end of. Meet the team about CML. Don't get outgunned. The top 1% are keenly aware of how option strategies perform in the market. If you place trades without knowing how they've performed in the past, then the hedge funds and high-frequency trade firms are taking advantage of your gap in knowledge. If you're not simulating your trading ideas, you're being outgunned by high-tech trading shops. Richer, deeper insights. Find out how your trading ideas would have worked in the real market using a wide range of option strategies with unlimited flexibility. Test multiple strategies against years of market data in just seconds. Calls, puts, straddles, spreads, and much more. Customizable deltas, option rollover timing, commissions. Don't trade in the dark. Get CML Trade Machine now. Get CML Trade Machine. Risk disclosure. Trading futures and options involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. The risk of loss in trading can be substantial. Carefully consider the inherent risks of such an investment in light of your financial condition. Please note that the executions and other statistics in this article are hypothetical and do not reflect the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as liquidity and slippage. X, the world's best options backtester. Watch the video. Please read the legal disclaimers below. The information contained on this site is provided for general informational purposes as a convenience to the readers. The materials are not a substitute for obtaining professional advice from a qualified person, firm or corporation. Consult the appropriate professional advisor for more complete and current information. Capital Market Laboratories, the company, does not engage in rendering any legal or professional services by placing these general informational materials on this website. The company specifically disclaims any liability, whether based in contract, tort, strict liability or otherwise, for any direct, indirect, incidental, consequential, or special damages arising out of or in any way connected with access to or use of the site, even if we have been advised of the possibility of such damages, including liability in connection with mistakes or omissions in, or delays in transmission of, information to or from the user, interruptions in telecommunications connections to the site or viruses. The company make no representations or warranties about the accuracy or completeness of the information contained on this website. Any links provided to other server sites are offered as a matter of convenience and in no way are meant to imply that the company endorses, sponsors, promotes or is affiliated with the owners of or participants in those sites or endorse any information contained on those sites unless expressly stated.